So in the previous video, I just showed you how basically to create a media identifier and using that media identifier when creating the key. So the next step we're gonna create the GWT token, and as I was mentioning earlier, we're gonna be using the Kitura Swift GWT token generator or package that we have. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy the link and basically add the package as a dependency to this project, which will allow us to me to basically be able to create and use the Swift GWT package to create the token. So it's gonna do some operations, but what I wanted to show here is like we're gonna need three pieces of information. The first thing is if we head over to the developer website, we're gonna need the team ID. The team ID, which is basically the identifier for your Apple developer account. So in this case, I'm gonna let's add the package, but I'm gonna head to my content here and create a function maybe called generate token. And yeah, we're gonna just proceed here, create our team ID here. You can name it whatever you want, but you put the team ID. The second thing we're gonna need is called the key ID, which is the identifier for the key we created here. Like if you remember the Shazam recognition game that we just created, we just copied the key ID and we put it there. The last thing we're gonna need is the private key, which as you can guess is the key we just downloaded. So for me, here's my key. You can just open it with any text editor tool and you're just able to get this kind of format in your key. Don't worry about this one, don't use this one because I'm just gonna be deleting this as soon as I finish with the video, but you can just copy that and put it in your project like this. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The remaining part now is regarding the Swift GWT token that we can now import since we've added dependency. And first thing first, we're just gonna create a header. Like let's create our header and put in our key ID. Let's say put here the key ID. Good. Let's create the claims, and here we're just gonna use the claim standard GWT token. Now we pass the ISS. This is gonna be your team ID. The expiration, which is gonna be like, let's say date from now. We can put it to expire in like let's say 3 months or let's say 5 months. So here you can just put like 60, like 60. Actually it's times 60 times 24. So I'm just basically converting the time interval of 5 months, which is basically 150 days, to time interval. So here I'm converting the days in time interval, and for IAT, let's put today right now. So this is like the time basically that this was generated. So for our GWT, we're gonna be using the GWT from our package GWT, and then we can use the GWT, create the header, pass in the header and the claims. Good. And yeah, let's just encode our private key here. That's private key data is equal to private key dot data using dot this encoding, else let's just do fatal error. And let's try to now create a signer and then use that to basically create our GWT token. So let's do like GWT signer is equal to gwt signer dot. We are gonna use this encryption algorithm, which is the SHA-256, and yeah, this should do the job. Basically, we just pass in the private key data we just created earlier, and we create our encoder, gwt encoder. We do gwt encoder, but here we're gonna pass the signer, so we do wt signer, and we create finally our token response here. So you can call it whatever you want, like token value or something. Just now we can use our encoder and encode the gwt we just created here. So we have gwt, and maybe you can do print the result. Let's just do token value. So here the thing we're not handling, obviously we're gonna have to use the catch, and here we can just simply say, okay, error signing gwt, and just get the error. This is just for demonstration purpose, and now we should be able to run our code. But one last thing, we just need to maybe call this when the view just appears and see what happens, generates the token. And yeah, this just should allow us to be able to basically generate our token using all the provided information here. And we set the token expiration to 5 months, we should be good. And yeah, we're gonna be able to use that token, for example, in generating maybe recognizing music from the Shazam SDK in Android. So I've run the project, and here we should be able to see the result of, yeah, finally we got it. So here, this is our token here, and this can now be used to generate or to access the Shazam catalog using the ShazamKit SDK.